now pause to allow our provincial stations to identify themselves.
Okay, we're back here on 1-1 with the Brutal One with our special guest, Mark D. Manalo. Mark D. I was playing around. Yeah, I'm gonna punch you. Hoy, probation, nakalimutan mo? Even until now, screw you, man! I wanna punch that marmot! It's my favorite! You gotta have to give it to me! Now I'm not! Where are you, gay? Say that for again, and up the screen, you're finished. Tumupin mo na kayo. So, kotono ba naman kayo? Saka na kayong umepal mamaya kung gusto niyo. Marami kaming pag-usapan pa, ha? Well, okay. I'm not too sure if you remember those two animals over there. When was the last time you see them? You don't know. Okay, tama na yan. And let's proceed with, let me see. Saan tayo natigil? Oh, yes. Apocalypse. We already discussed your match with Cantotero and yourself at Revolution 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Tama ba ho?
Yes.
Okay. Which means, punta na tayo sa showdown. Pero, seriously, showdown. Yeah. We're gonna talk about things that happened before showdown. That also includes my one-day bootcamp training at the Bombay Suarez Performance Center, along with the guys who become my batch 6 mates. Yeah. Trian Del Torre, Evan Carlo, the Kakay Bros, the man who portrayed Gatillo, the kid who is known as Bold, among others. Kaya nga, batch 6 eh. Now, your first work is the one half of the YOLO twins, Johan Oliores. So, tell me what it's like to work with this kid who would later reveal he has a twin brother in the end.
Oh man. Those two are perhaps one of my favorites to work with. Actually, aside kay Apok, the twins were really fantastic at what they do, and they started from the ground up and just literally proved people who doubted them wrong in every single way possible. And as you can see, they had multiple PWR tag team title reigns, which they earned. They did not just deserve it; they earned it, definitely. And you, when you put it into a retrospective on how they work and how open they were to every possible opportunities that they want to work with, you will see how and why they are the best tag team in Philippine wrestling.
No questions about it. They had some of the best title defense we ever seen in recent memory. Uh,
Yeah.
we'd be looking for a third PWR tag title reign. Who knows? Maybe right after the pandemic or yeah, like
Or
that.
perhaps they should just simply go international for me.
See if they can go too far for it. Seriously.
Yeah. I'm rooting hard for those two. They were some of the best guys that I've worked with.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, you did lost to Johan at Showdown, on which marami mga backstory doon. We chit-chat about that later on. And then there's YOLO Twins, yes. Well, let's say the reason you lost to that match, maybe doon ba dumating yung kakambal ni Johan, si Logan Oliores?
sa showdown ata yun. Sa
Yes.
showdown nag-reveal, yeah. Pero yung prior to that is kaya wala akong kaya Canto Terror versus Apocalypse nung Revo X at that time because I was part of that. If you remember or recall the elimination of gauntlet match for the number one contenders for the PHX title, which Chino Ginto won, if I could recall. Yeah,
Tama, tama.
yes. Yeah, I still have a good memory with that match. Um, Doon nagsimula yung feud. So Vintendo was eliminated by Johan, and then I eliminated Johan. Then Joey Bax eliminated me because of the distraction, if I
Naalala
recall
ko
it
na tuloy.
correctly.
Thanks for reminding me about that one.
Yeah, every single match na involved ako, or any segments natatandaan ko clearly on the top of my head whenever I do a trip back to memory lane. So yeah. Then dung sa showdown na um, we Logan was hiding
Twin Magic.
underneath that whole time, and then post match yung anong pakiramdam doon, mainit ba? Sabi niya oo, ang init, tapos arang nakakatakot kasi every time someone bumps, imagine this the table, right? Parang tas nasa ilalim ka ng table na yun. There is a fear that at some point merong, that's why I can't imagine myself going there. May pagka-claustrophobic ako kaya buti na wala akong kambal.
Hmm. Okay, punta na tayo sa PWR Renaissance 2016. Wow. Yan yung show na napalabas sa October, hindi sa September kasi alam na natin na yung buong anggulo kung bakit nag-lockdown mo na yung PWR. Speaking of which, alam ko meron na kayong for the first time ever right after showdown yung, is it APCC, right? 2016.
APCC.
I was there for only two days, you know. Hindi ko maano sa third day dahil my body has reached its limit at kailangan ko ng seryosong pahinga baka bigla ako magkasakit. I know I missed that opportunity pero nakabawi ko sa 2017 if I'm not mistaken.
Hindi ka pa nga.
That's where meron ako nabili na mga stuffs na na-enjoy ako sa sarili ko. One will be first will be WWE at 50 if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Hardcover legit yun WWE at 50.
Yun ba yung parang malaking book?
Tama, black cover pero may gold na plate na WWE logo. Oh, they celebrated the 50th anniversary of that company.
Oo, tatandaan yan. Ganda na na-statement.
And then sometime maybe a year or so, I think I bought 30 years of WrestleMania. Pag umabot ng 40 years of WrestleMania na may libro ganyan, in ako. Pero yung kapag bala ko sana yung 25 years of destruction ni yung Undertaker na hardcover. Pero pag may 30th anniversary, edi yan na lang yung habulin ko if possible. Well, FYI, I'm an Undertaker fan from the beginning of 1991 and then 1999 and then to this day. Period.
And Undertaker was such a legend. I mean, imagine WWE without him. Right?
Tama ka nga. The man who portrayed the Undertaker is the most professional wrestler, worker they ever had. No questions asked. He has no real life bullshits outside. Let's say the man who portrayed the Undertaker, parang reserved person to, parang, yeah, you know, ay hinihiwalay niya yung personal and professional life. And that's the example that everyone should follow as much as possible.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. And perhaps one of the best things that, or best examples on how much respected that guy is nung nakikita ko yung clips from Last Ride, and I saw how Vince and Taker interact, parang masusunod pa si Vince kay Taker rather than other way around. Parang ganun yung ano nila, relationship. It's
Di,
that's how much they respected one another. And siguro part of it was his loyalty when everyone else went to the Ted Turner company, the BCW, right? Um, he was there. If natatandaan mo, meron parang shoot promo na everyone else went to the greener pastures and I'm still here. May or placebo effect lang ba sa akin? Mandela effect rather. Na ako lang ata yung nakakaalala ng ganung promo niya.
Andre the Giant was the longest tenured employee in WWE originally for 2 decades. Taker surpassed him by all means. You know that.
Yeah. Sobrang grabe yung ano, yung respect no, and imagine everyone else have been problematic at some point of their careers, diba? But Undertaker, wala akong narinig na issue from him, from other people. Like, merong issue kay Austin about his domestic issues and that. Kay Dwayne, wala rin ako natatandaan, but it's more of ego issues. Pero yung kay, wala akong narinig na shoot about Taker being an asshole because he's not like that, or he earned everything to have that right then.
Which is one of the primary reasons why he is the most respected individual ever in the industry of professional wrestling. No questions asked. Especially sa WWE mismo. Hopefully, his legacy would live the way it should be.
Yeah. Sana wag na siya mag-match. It doesn't need it anymore.
Look, he will appear one last time sa WWE. Survivor Series.
Yeah.
November 22nd na. That's the same day he made his debut in WWE and sa pay-per-view. Same date
Went full circle galing.
Oo, na-check ko mabuti. God, parehas pala eh. Listen, medyo na-mislead ako kanina. Bakit pang napanood ko na pala yung Undertaker's Greatest Match. Pero yung napanood ko sa DVD actually is Undertaker's Deadliest Matches. Hindi ko na mabasa mabuti yung title. So, the difference between the Deadliest Matches at yung sa Greatest Matches dun sa WWE Network. Yung sa Deadliest Matches pang career spanning. Hindi pa mapunta ata sa 2010 kung hindi ako nakakamali. Marami mga malulupit na matches doon si Taker sa Deadliest Matches na yung DVD set like that. Nandun pa nga yung unang casket match, a.k.a. coffin match at the time against Kamala. And then yes, yung Yokozuna, yung sa Royal Rumble and Survivor Series, 2 classic casket matches. Taker lose the first one dahil sa interference sa mga contrabids, mga alali ni Yokozuna on several occasions.
Hindi, Mr. Fuji ba?
Mr. Fuji, Jim Cornette, don't forget that one. And then yes, muntik na makaroon ng interference sa Survivor Series 1994. Kung hindi sa yung assist ni Chuck Norris bilang special guest enforcer doon. You know that, right?
Chuck Norris. Yeah.
Yes. Let's say, may nakialam. Na-check ko mabuti. Shit, may nakialam. Lang hiya. May nakialam sa laban ni Taker. At tinapanin ko ata to sa YouTube channel ng WWE. Which I would like also to share na natuwa ako for the first time pina-upload nila yung full complete match ni Taker at Mankind Survivor Series 1996 with Paul Bearer locked in the cage and suspended above the ring to avoid interference. Ewan ko kung napanood mo yun, ha?
Tapos sa manager back then ni Mankind si Paul Bearer. Yun ba yung match na yan?
Or was it?
Yes. Ito kung hindi mo mag-gets punta tayo sa SummerSlam 1996, the first ever Boiler Room Brawl.
Oh yeah.
Diba,
I,
barely nakasurvive si Taker sa laban na yan. Pumunta sa ring para i-retrieve yung urn kay Paul Bearer. Pero, napansin natin hindi binigyan ni Paul Bearer yung urn. Na let's say, nang mamakaawa ata si Taker na ibigay yung urn sa kanya, and then Paul Bearer bashed it on the head.
yun nga yun.
And then
Tapos,
he gave it to
naging tag team
Mankind
na
the
si King
urn.
tsaka Mankind nun.
Taker was
I heard.
defeated by Mankind. And then, for unknown reasons, Paul Bearer severed his ties with Taker after 5 long years of partnership between these two. Bagay sila mag-partner no questions asked. Much like si Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman. Hindi ba ako nagkakamali? O kaya si Mr. Fuji and Yokozuna. For
Yeah.
example. Click,
Ganda ng dynamic nila.
Hmm.
Nag-clicks. And yung may nakita ako doon yung parang sino pa bang magandang manager and wrestler duo. Heyman Punk parang hindi. Di sila masyadong
Hindi bagay.
for me. Sino pa ba?
Ric Flair, Triple H, for example.
Flair, Triple H, yeah. It worked, but they are going at their peak na rin eh. What else? Jim Cornette kasi more on tag teams, ha?
Tama. He's more on tag teams. Yes, it's true.
Teddy Long, di masyado successful as manager.
Uy, hindi masyado successful as manager. Ano ba? Naging manager siya during time niya sa WCW noong mga late 80s to early 90s. Before he jumped ship to WWE as a referee, and then later, bumalik yung pagiging talent niya bilang wrestling manager.
Kay Mark Henry.
Tug and bugging business. Not only Mark Henry, pero si Rodney Mack and Jazz.
Rodney Mack pa. Rodney.
And then 2004, let's say natanggal ata si Paul Heyman, and then si Teddy Long. Teddy Long na yung yung
what I'm saying is yung managerial roles on ringside. Meron Vicky Guerrero Edge. Speaking of.
Shit! Thanks for reminding me of that one. Ay, Vicky Guerrero and Edge. Sobra na to. Hindi ko makakalimutan na they made The Undertaker's life beyond miserable during Edge-Taker rivalry / feud.
Yeah.
Yung SummerSlam 2008 na Hell in a Match ni Taker and Edge. Napanood mo yun, diba? Huwag mo sabihin hindi mo napanood yun.
Yung Undertaker Edge, sobrang blurry na ng wrestling memory ko. Ang dami ko kasing nakakalimutan na lately.
Actually, napalabas na ata sa YouTube yan Kung hindi ako nakakamali. Pero this is one of my favorite Undertaker Hell in a matches ever. Much like
mas naalala ko yung TLC match nila eh. Yung
sa Extreme Rules ba
yung dalawang tables sa kapatong, tapos chinokeslam ata. Tama. Or
chinokeslam ni Taker si Edge.
Chinokeslam or last ride? I forgot.
Chinokeslam ni Taker si Edge sa double tables as a revenge over yung nangyari sa Extreme Rules, yung kukunsa na ni Taker yung belt. And then si Edge tinulak at tuhulog si Taker ng mga stack of tables. 4 na tables alam ko
4 na tables. Shit. Actually, mga table mas cushion pa nga yung tables kesa dun sa floor.
Although masakit yung table yung part of the metal edge, pwede makakasugat yan. Evidence?
Actually,
si Hardcore Holly, do you remember? He had what was reported to be 16 stitches from the back. It's like talaga na-slice talaga siya. Shit. Legit yun legit.
Yeah, yung match namin ni Apocalypse, dun din na yung metal edge ng table tumama dun sa tuhod ko. So, dun talaga umaggravate din yung injury ko at that time.
Pero hindi ka naman
So,
na slice.
hindi naman na or um, thank God na hindi nangyari yon. Yung parang may na-stab somewhere else, no, no. Or
Mm.
sliced, wala.
Yan yung isa sa mga rason kung bakit meron kang naging injuries at the time. Yung match ni Apocalypse sa Revolution X26. Terminus 2015. Tama ba?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Nag-ano na rin dun. Then, sa halip na, the only mistake that I did is just went along with it. Parang, okay lang naman to, normal lang to. Parang ganun yung iniisip ko at that time. Parang iniisip ko, pwede ka naman pilot or something. And I ignored it until such time nung uh, nagka-injury ako nung sa APCC na after nung match with Delirium. Pag-uwi ko ng bahay, plak, mano na yung tuhod and ankle ko, bumigay na talaga all together. So I had to um, stay away from the business
For a while.
for good.
But you did compete against let me see, Young Twins versus Beer from this Renaissance 2016, diba? Yan na ata
Yeah,
siguro yung huli mong laban. I mean, arguably your last match of your career, tama ba?
yes, that was my last match that I've ever performed in, and I do not have any regrets putting over such a tremendous tag team that basic for me that match may not be the catalyst to put them where they are right now, but it kind of gave them a foundation on and gave the Revelation a glimpse of how terrific and how awesome these two young kids are. Yeah.
You make
And
sporadical appearance in latter career, not as a competitor but in some different vignettes. One from isang episode ng The Carlo Show with Evan Carlo. If I'm not mistaken, that would have to be they're searching of a third man for their tag team match against, let me see, si Chino Ginto and the YOLO Twins ba? Yung tama ba?
Robin Sane
I
and
know, Robinson, mali. Robinson and the YOLO Twins. Yes, Peter had managed to have MWS Robinson teaming up with YOLO Twins. The reason? Frankie 13. I don't know why Frankie 13 kinda forced forced Robinson to team up with the YOLOs that end up not so well. But it was also what May said yung homecoming ni Robinson sa PWR since umalis siya sa company
uh,
right after the 2014 Renaissance.
Revolution. Renaissance.
Yes, 2014 Renaissance. One match niya kay Mayhem Brannigan that didn't last maybe kahit 5 minutes hindi tumagal. Ewan ko kung na-witness mo yan
I wasn't there that time. Di pa ako part ng roster or part ng bootcamp. Wala pang bootcamp nun eh. Nagka-bootcamp after Renaissance. Ganun basically yung nangyayari.
Pero 1 year
So,
training, diba? Pero minamadali kang mag-wrestling kaagad lang ya.
yeah. For some, yung sa training naman, and to be called up, ano yun, it's a two-way situation. And it's your determination and how the management feels about it. Are you ready to be called up? Have you already established yung basics mo, fundamentals mo, and yung overall character mo, how you would fit in with the bigger picture. That's how it works with back then. I don't know if they still are if they're still doing it the same way, but basically that's how it works. No, yeah, that's how it works then.
You made the after your appearance. So yeah, let's talk about behind the scenes stuff about you, Marty Manalo. Sa hindi ko akalain na after Revolution X, and then it was on yung boot camp. Alam ko wala ka ata dun kung hindi ako nakakamali
Yeah,
That was
wala,
around like
wala ako na.
July yata first week ng July. I was there. I'll tell you a little bit of my story. I think hindi ko alam kung narinig mo na to sa mga iba regarding me being in bootcamp for one day only. Ah, I still haven't forgot all those memories in there. I know that was beyond tough. And yes, just like before you guys, myself and the guys who will become batch 6, Dorian Del Torre, Evan Carlo, the Cocky Bros, the man who later became Gatilio, and yes, this kid by the name of Bolt. They injured well, much as I did. I just follow whatever they're asking me of because I need to know how it works. I had to do it, although I did a lot of mistakes pagdating sa part ng of the bumps because may halong hesitation, that's for one. And then I had to figure kung saan talaga yung tama. Yung mga push-ups, yung mga planking, yung mga squats. Pag sa push-up, doon ako talaga na mong gelote na kagad. But I don't care. It was fun.
I
I
agree.
know I'm gonna do the same like you guys did and during the hardships of the training kahit first day pa lang pero na-enjoy ako sobra. And my favorite
Glad you did.
memory would be yung last part kung saan every one of us would receive chops to the chest. Well, it didn't last that long. It's my turn and then masakit, but I don't know what's my problem. Am I having a penchant for such physical punishment? Sharp objects, kundi mga ganyan? I don't know. I try not to laugh. Kahit masakit, pamuntik na ako natawa sa sakit. Maliwala ka o hindi Ewan ko kung ilan sa mga bootcampers doon at that time, kahit sino man, kahit anong batch, na-feel nila yung medyo gustong tatawa kahit sobrang sakit. Ganun.
Well, meron naman iba yung reaction nila doon. Alam mo yung iba nagtatapang-tapangan na, oh, kaya ko to. Tapos pag tapos na yung chop, nagko-collapse sa sahig, tapos on their knees, gasping for air. Yun. And what you experience probably is mixture of your enthusiasm then. I could say that you have accomplished something, although it's not yet the finish line, pero parang yung feeling na na-fulfill mo yung bucket list mo beyond that pain. It
Gusto ko
was
talaga sunod
rewarding.
sana. Kaso, may backstory ikukwento ko na sa'yo kaagad dito sa palabas na to. Si Mother Dearest yung nagpigil sa akin. Knowing na yung sa experience ng aking body pain for almost a week, gusto ko talaga tuloy pero hindi I had to give in given na napaka-challenging yung relationship ko ng airmats ko to the point na ayaw ko makipag-away sa kanya dahil lang sa petty stuff na yan pero it would take many years later na na-mention sa mga friends na nag-join ako pero sabi daw nag-quit daw ako like that at my reaction is lumaki pang nang kilay ng at nainis ako talaga. I was a bit depressed at the time. So I had to respect my age already. I was 33 years old when I joined the PWR boot camp. But that doesn't mean na madali akong bumigay kaagad. I need to know more about that stuff like that. It's more than just enthusiastic. Curiosity, if you ask me. And my very questionable determination to find out if I can actually do all this shit like those that came before me. Pero since napigil ako, like that, medyo tumahimik mo na ako, ayaw ko na pag-usapan like that. Pero nalaman ko na talagang gumagaling yung mga naging kabatch ko sa bootcamp na yan. It would take mga January 2017 onwards from debut ni si TDT sa alam ko una ata eh. And then si Evan Card sumunod. And then sooner or later, one half the kakaibo si Kendrick and then later si Marky. The rest is history.
Yeah.
Na-admire ako sa kanila. Of those guys, Torian and Evan were quite of a good friends to me in real life. Yeah, they asked me to do some stuff like that for the Carlo show, and I'm quite happy to do so like that. And I was responsible for unloading my the word jalote because of a certain incident before PWR's existence in 2014 o before yung unang show niya sa 2014 kasi nagplay ako ng PC game ng isang kumag na to na best friend ko rin sa high school like that, and then ayaw mapatalo feeling niya special to the point na na-frustrated ako, bigla I uttered those words that doesn't have the letter H in the end of the word na to, jalote, and then I kinda add the letter H para maganda yung yung spelling niya like that at yung tinake. And then I label him as Totoy Jalote. And then inaasar ko sa sobrang inis ko talaga, inaasar ko talaga to the point na talagang magwawala siya. I don't want to go too far. I pity that fool anyway, but still my best bud, buddy. Sad he didn't attend my wedding, which is for some shitty circumstances, pero naintindihan ko naman. But hopefully na balang araw kapag binyan ka ng unang anak namin sa maybe years later, hindi natin masabi kung kailan mangyari. I had to invite him, but baka maulit na naman. Nakaka-frustrating makipagkasosyo ng ungas na yan na sakot talagang ipahalik yung puwet ko sa kanya. Shit. Okay, and now that shit. Now, after the bootcamp, diba, medyo tumahimik ng konti. But, truth to be told, that is the last time I saw the man who brought their classical brand Leo in PWR.
Yeah.
Because, hindi ko alam kung ano talaga nangyari. APCC and then nilakta pupunta sa Renaissance, wala si CBL. Although sa Shoutdown supposed to be wait after APCC tama ba 'yon? No. After yung Batanes Showdown na, and then APCC and then Renaissance.
Yeah.
I think we already heard from Wrestling podcast about the story of kina Rob Mabayashi, mostly entirely. Then that also includes 4 letter B, si Big Bankrupt Bruno Bernardo. Wag mo sabihin may magandang kang kwento dyan kay Big Bankrupt Baka gusto mong i-vulgar natin to. No holds barred to Shock ko to.
Well,
Shock ko na.
Karamihan naman ata parang naikwento na rin yung mga ano na yun. Pero the reason why I keep mom on it because first of all, that was not my business. Yung ginawa niya. Although it's unfortunate and unacceptable. He betrayed the trust of the people that trusted him.
You're talking about CBL o si Big Bankrupt?
Pareha sila. Tangay na.
Oh. Pero totoo ba may ninako si Big Bankrupt yung sa yung tawag yung fan ng The Network, which is I heard from Wrestling podcast?
That I don't know.
Pero si Classical Brian Leo, do you consider him as an amateur for being a president of that wrestling company? In your opinion, after all of this?
Back then, before that, prior to that incident, I could say that yung because the way that I treat people is I always treat all of them with respect, and whatever the whatever they do, they just either gain respect from me or lose the respect that I have for them. So initially, ganda naman yung pakikitungo, although laging late sa sa training,
Yes,
not
totoo yung
being
story, yung narinig ko. For
yeah,
unknown reasons. O kaya, in the words of JTL, is it you're narcissistic, ganun?
yeah, parang parang may gusto siyang patunayan or something that I want to know what people's reaction when I came up late, something like that. I do not have a good um, impersonation of him. I don't want to sound off as racist, but rather not to. Um, aside from that, he volunteered to be my mentor back then nung training days ko, and he was kind to me, to be in all fairness with them, but that kindness, parang when all the shit has been happening, it backfired on me in a way now I never even benefited from the guy.
Ouch, that's gonna
Yung
hurt.
karami.
Halos karamihan. Okay, now, let's go to Batanes thing. Did the management had asked you to, participate or yung sa, Batanes Beatdown, yung PWR on tour? That's the second one they ever did. Right after yung, PWR on tour, yung, sa Quezon, I forgot yung title na yan.
Quezon Invasion ata.
Ayan,
I
Quezon
think.
Invasion. Alam ko na okay naman yung show ninyo, pero pagdating sa bayaran, not individual, pero as company as a whole, which you find it quite questionable, right?
Initially, ang mindset ko nun is, lagi iniisip ko na lang na startup company kami. Kailangan, there's some dues that needs to be paid first before you even get that, yung gains, kumbaga, or financial gains on your end. Pero, naging questionable for me. Di ko na lang din sinasabi sa iba because I don't want them to develop a bias na parang "Uy, I want them to develop their own opinions regarding it." Inisip ko pa parang may mali. Ang tagal na rin hindi kami nababayaran or something. Nabayaran kami once, parang 1,500, I don't know. Um, yeah, dun na simula nung sa Quezon. After nung Quezon, naging parang, oops, parang ganito, parang medyo shady na. Then came Vendetta, tapos yung sa Manila Madness nga, sobrang lala nun. Um, and when I heard of what transpired para lang makuha yung venue, really feel bad that bakit natin kinuha to.
Oh, yung
For,
'di ba, yung mga squatters, 'di ba, temporary na shelter sila diyan, pero yung organizer ata yung mga kasama niya ata parang hindi dapat matuloy sana yung show, pero like that. Isa pa yung organizer hindi naman parte ng PWR board, 'di ba? But yeah, the man behind Classical Brandy, I don't know how he pulled up this thing na ewan ko kung may alam siya sa company management o hindi, pero everyone say na pagdating sa business side of things, he's not fit to run PWR as a businessman daw. On which, you agree with me na nandun na yung evidence, diba?
yeah, parang looking back kasi but I can I don't want to use my immaturity as an excuse. Parang sabi ko, iniisip ko na lang lagi, okay lang yan, okay lang yan. Basta makapag-wrestling, ganun lang yung mindset ko nun. Which was a huge mistake on my end.
Daming kwento kasi nila kay CBL eh. Pagdating sa mga meeting eh, dadala pa ng asawa at yung baby. Loko. Wala akong naalala na ganyan. O, ewan ko ba anong mindset ng Jalote na yan at the time. I mean, I'm talking about the old CBL, not the present CBL. Rumor has it that he's more than just a change man and some stuff like that. I heard from the side of MWF and others as well. We skip to that for now and then let's go to Batanes thing. The second PWR tour, Batanes Beatdown. Obviously, that was CBL's idea about putting a show at of all places sa Luzon, I mean Pilipinas, Batanes. Nagulat ba kayong lahat ng reaction na magtutur kayo sa Batanes? I mean for something na never done before?
Nagulat and karamihan sa amin naging enthusiastic. Because we were under the impression na, big break to, parang ganun. Then, the first 2 days were good. Sa event, okay pa rin. Then, nung stranded na kami, kasi one-way ticket lang pala yung binook sa amin.
Binuksan nyo ni CBL, kung hindi ako nakakamali.
Yeah.
Dahil may impression na babayaran kayo pag o nabayaran na yung return ticket papunta sa Metro Manila, which is hindi pala naging totoo to.
Yeah. So, for all people who are on the business of touring, always make sure to have a return flight. Advice lang din sa never let them just book one-way flight.
I mean,
Unless ayaw mo nang
that was
bumalik.
stupid, man. That was stupid, to be honest. Kung sakali kapag natuloy ako sa attorney, baka I was asked to assist like that. Obviously, pag-isipan ko, pero halata na baka hindi ako papayagan ng parents ko because, like that, I had to explain to them. Pwede itong mangyari. Pero kapag kung sakali napayagan ako, nasama ko, baka matulad pa ako sa inyo. A bunch of victims of stupidity. I mean, I don't know kung sinadya ba to ni CBL or what. Kaya ikaw, parang hindi mo sure kung
Just
talaga
as just as clueless as you are. Up until this time, wala man lang explanation na binigay sa amin. I mean, for me, siguro dahil after ng Renaissance, di na rin I totally disconnected momentarily sa wrestling in general. Because of that incident, many people thought that I was conniving with him or something. And back then I felt really ostracized. And
alam ko may grupo si CBL behind the scenes, pang Sirlining Stable. It includes Mayhem Brannigan, of all people. That's according kina Roderick Mahaba. Wrestling podcast like that. But yung mga incidents may ilan sa mga co-workers mo, I mean, at the time, they told you a story about CBL's and his, apparently his mom stole the funds of PWR. In relates to Batanes incident. Tama ba ako o yung mali?
medyo connected doon. Pero, yun nga, though, for me lang is I barely have no idea what's going on. Sobrang clueless ako since nung nasa booking team ako, I don't focus on on the business structure. Kasi, first of all, I did not come there for money. I work while I study. So
Yes, na-miss mo yung yung student ka ba at the time or nag-work ka na
I,
yung during
I
yung
was a working student na nun. Working student
na-miss
ako.
mo yung yung Monday and Tuesday kung hindi ako nakakamali, tama ba?
Yeah, muntik na ako ma-drop nun sa isang subject ko.
Ah, shit.
Cal.
Na-explain mo ba sa kanila yung situation na yung dahilan kung bakit na-absent ka like that?
As a prof ko, yeah.
And then,
Naintindihan naman.
anong yung respond nila sa'yo?
Sabi, unang tanong is, bakit wala kayong return flight? Bakit wala kayong return flight? Yun lang yung sabi ng prof ko sa akin. Sabi ko, di ko alam. Because back then, 2016, ilang taon na ako nun. Kaka 21 ko lang nun eh. And aminado ako, sobrang immature pa ako nun.
Yeah,
And
like that.
all I thought that basta pumunta ka sa business na to, resting ka, pag napunta ka sa booking, mag-book ka lang, tapos. I'd never, I would never pick interest dun sa business side, sa financial side, kasi I thought that they are being handled really carefully, really carefully.
Pero sa bandang huli, yung the management at the time under him, wala nangyari. Kwento na rin yun, parang he was basically assigned to do that stuff, pero sinabi niya yung sa financial officer like that. Ewan ko kung may financial officer sa manage ng PWR at the time, kung di ako nakakamali. Pero mahirap daw kontakin rin kasi because of that shit situation. Have you recalled na may nag-invite sa o kahit sino man sa PWR makaroon ng isang special na meeting? I think sa Fit Plus Gym yata kung hindi ako nakakamali. Special na meeting o kaya yung sarili ninyong internal court, parang sabi nating kakasuhan ninyo si CBL in related pang on trial on related his actions for 2016 and before all this happened, kasama ng Batanes. Did you get the invitation? No naman.
I don't know if I ever recalled being invited to such. Kasi after Renaissance, I never contacted anyone. And but in advance, sinabi ko na rin kina Owel na, Renaissance would be my last match. Yada, yada, yada. Tapos they accepted. Then I just simply vanished. Like, I don't, because that year was a really tough time din sa akin, personally. Um, I never wanted, um, to be honest, I'm not really comfortable with talking about it up until this time, but kailangan pa rin i-let out to, no? Just to have an avenue na,
This is the first time we heard it from you, man. First time. I know I'm gonna have to go no holds barred, but the decision for you to answer is up to you. You wanna skip it? Skip it. If you want to tell your side, yung naramdaman mo, then no holds barred naman dito, diba? Kaya
yeah,
you have your opportunity here. Kahit guess kita. I believe you're telling the truth naman. Which is, okay sa akin. Brutal honesty.
yeah. This is what it is all about, and I just wanted to siguro to have an avenue to say na anything that happened after Renaissance related to wrestling, I don't remember anything. Wala na
And
ako
then
natandaan.
it was on late 2016. This date to this day, no one could ever forget. December 14, 2016. Pero kailan mo nalaman na tinalsik na si CBL sa PWR? Is it 2017?
Yeah, nakita ko na lang sa Facebook page ng PWR na they released him. Tapos nakikita ko na si Mark Henry. But during that time, I was like, don't give a crap anymore. Um,
Pero what's in your inner reaction? That was necessary if PWR to survive. They had to get rid of a cancer.
of course it is. Ha, paano ka ba makakapagsimula ulit kung mahina yung pundasyon nyo, di ba?
At yung yung financial problems because of him, of course. In the words of Redrick Mahaba, irresponsible asshole siya. Ganun. Yung
Let's
something na,
say,
yung napaka-basic na gawain, hindi na magawa. Ewan ko kung anong rason. That's the
parang ang
part
bait lang naman
that
niya.
the man who portrays CBL, hindi ko na gusto. Although, not on my place na huhusgahin ko siya ng ganito dahil sabihin natin hindi ko naman kilala ng personal to, diba? Pero, kung ako sa katayuan nila, talagang maiinis ako talaga to the point na baka masapak ko pa tong gelote na to, one way or another. You know,
Yeah.
no one had get the chance to kick his ass in real life. Let alone na narinig mo, ewan ko kung nakwento na sa'yo na may confrontation si CBL at si JDL regarding yung bayaran ng tawag nito, I forgot that word. Reimbursements. Yes, reimbursements. And then, medyo naging heated yung conversation to the point na inilabas ni JDL yung tunay na naramdaman yung sama ng loob sa kanya, like that. Yung unprofessionalism, the way yung napaka-bullshit yung ginawa niya, like that. And to the point of calling him a piece of shit. And then, well, from what yung sa story sa episode 147 ng Wrestling Podcast,
Yeah.
ewan ko kung anong reaction mo dyan sa story na yan. Let's say na puro na ata si CBL, but on his part, in my opinion na on his part, parang sobra na siyang na-pressure na kung saan maghanap ng pera para bayaran yung utang yung mga to, like that. But, yeah, you cannot keep that guy's emotion kasi feeling niya na na-slandered siya sa Facebook, whatsoever, kaya naging tahimik to. I curiously check out on his, maraming mga, kahit sino yung mga kilala ko, yung kilala natin mga wrestlers doon, or behind the wrestling characters, they said about the same thing. When will be the reimbursements be paid, like that? Marami. So, yeah, some guys would say, he pissed a lot of everyone. Which also includes you, kung hindi ako nakakamali.
Absolutely. Um, then the most frustrating thing about this whole incident is that he was able to make a comeback in the wrestling industry. And
Pang walang nangyari sa kanya sa tunay na buhay, kung sabihin natin.
yeah, parang
Una,
walang
Art of War Wrestling, which is originally formed by the Machine Maverick Knight. And then, he was like invited to Manila Wrestling Federation, on which, yes, he appeared on MWF na yata. I mean, dun sa Venice Grand Canal Mall show. And then, from what I heard, bakit nawala yung mga to? The guys from PWR, and then yung walkout na nangyari. Some say na pumunta sa CR, may iba, in such utter disgust, umalis because nandun pa yung sama ng loob na yan at the time. Pero I think one time nakita kita sa yung Venice Grand Canal show nila, one time, if you could recall that one, 2019.
yeah, I was there to support Ace, or as you may all well know, Canto Terror.
Mm-hmm.
Was there to watch his debut. And I saw I saw the guy for portraying CBL, but I chose to ignore na lang because I was with my little brother at the time, and I don't want him to see me um, being confrontational at all. But Yeah, I chose to ignore. I chose to let go na lang. Even though nandun yung sama ng loob na
Lahat
how
ng
could
gulat,
they?
parang feeling nila na hindi maganda yung decision ng MWF. Napaka-risky. I understand that. I respect their decision naman, but this kind of risky thing na may complications na rin. Yung working relationship ng PWR medyo tumatahimik. You probably might notice it even to this day.
If excuse me lang, regarding sa decision ng MWF to sign him or not, labas na kami dun. But it's with the person himself who had the audacity of going and continuing the profession he loves the most, while some of us weren't able to do so because of you, right? Where's that audacity coming from? Na saan nanggagaling yung sa Tagalog yung apog? Saan
Well,
nanggagaling yung ganong kapal ng mukha to
let's
just
say, di ba nasabi na according sa, according kina Mr. C, that yung regarding yung nangyari sa PWR, there's no hint of remorse in his end. Parang he doesn't feel any sorry about that. Parang feeling niya, inosente siya sa buong angulo doon. Parang wala siyang kasalanan. Something that I fiercely believe na he's still fighting for it to this day. Parang wala siyang kasalanan sa mga nangyayari like that. Parang, I'm not so sure if you see something like that in him. It's like he's very innocent in everything like that or something. Ganun.
I mean, in his own world, he is always right, di ba? Um, that's his ego running din eh. But
But many said na this is in the CBL that you remember sa PWR. Sobra na siya pang mapakumbaba. To some of the guys sa PWR, no, MWF mostly. Even Kanto Terry would tell me that one too, but according to him na whatever the problem ni CBL sa PWR sa inyo na yun. They just don't wanna get involved. They just do business like that, ganun. Pero kung sakali na naging totoo yung mga accusation ni CBL, on MWF's part, they had no problem of really removing him immediately. Kung talagang na doon yung solid na evidence talaga. Not through like this one, yung sa palabas na to, not through wrestling podcast or any social
yeah,
media thing. Kailangan yung talagang
concrete.
concrete talaga. Kailangan kumpleto. Sa tunay na buhay. Yung batas, ganun, kailangan kumpleto. Kasi I have to agree with MW. Kailangan kumpleto talaga. Kahit na experience yung mga experience niyo sa tao na yan like that. Still kailangan na no kumpleto. Kung gusto niyo, kung kaya niyo, dalhin niyo to sa Supreme Court. Tignan natin kung anong pwede mangyari. Eventually, from what I know, mga like 2017, you don't know about this, pero PWR Renaissance 2017 sa Fisher Mall doon sa
All
QC Playland. I saw him with machine, pero talaga I saw him with my two eyes. Nagulat nga ako, ano ginagawa nito dito? So after the show, I kinda have a little pick, and then there's a meeting with him, and then some of the guys, yung mga management ng PWRC, JDL, and then each of them has their own attorneys or legal stuff like that. That's what I see. I know who are the yung lawyers do sa PWR, and then yung sa side ni CBL, paralegals. Meaning to say, from what I heard from Camus, he even attempt to sue us, PWR, for example. Yes, he's suing PWR because of the way you guys threw at him like that. Ngayon na-mention ko na to sa'yo. I need your opinion or reaction over this kind of shit way back in 2017.
wala, it's straight up clownery for me.
Paralegal
Like,
daw. Hindi naman lawyer, diba? Alam mo naman yung paralegal, iba sa lawyer. Lawyer, mataas yung position. Yung paralegal,
kumbaga parang may mga batang nag-away. Sa halip na nagsumbong sa teacher, nagsumbong sa janitor, parang ganun. it's or nagsumbong sa teaching assistant. Parang ganun eh. Parang basta ang labo nila. It's a joke that but I don't want to divulge on it further. Lalo lang ako naiinis.
Pero also
uh,
si CBL, he went on to tell to these people who will become the part of the short-lived AOWW yung side of the story like that and mga ganun, yada yada. Even the man who would portray Kali Nueva would attest this in ano yung guesting niya sa Wrestling podcast. He talk a lot of shit about you guys. That's PWR. And then, even sa kina Satan Trudeau, I think from what I heard, he used to join yung ano, yung sa training session ng AOWW for a short period of time, much like Kali Nueva did. But luckily, those two decide to ditch it and then go PWR, which is the best business decision in their entire life. Lalo si Kali Nueva. Look at him. I mean, he may be a heel at first, pero naging fan favorite. And then, I slowly show signs of nagustuhan ko yung wrestling character niya and then Ox na Ox after he joined the Naughty Boys of Philippine Wrestling and then his angle with Jemerlin is
entertaining.
wow, entertaining. Okay, parang nanonood ako ng situational comedy but I'm not talking about John and Marcia we're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
Okay, I mentioned you did mention a while ago about Biden. I mean, maging president-elect si Biden, which means marami siyang boto kumpara kay Trumpy Bear.
Yeah, just saw the news that he is now elected president here. He
Pero
had
hindi pa tapos yung
284 electoral.
hindi pa
Yung
tapos yung voting poll hindi pa tapos. Tatagal pa yan kasi alam mo naman yung situation sa US, 'di ba? COVID-19.
yeah.
Ay,
Pero based sa electoral votes, panalo na siya eh. Nakalagpas na siya ng 270. He had 284 votes na.
sabihin natin natuto na ang yung mga ilang tao sa United States regarding Trump being president on 2 terms. Tama ba ako?
Could be. Sobrang divided nitong election na to. Kumpara sa, if you would compare it from the last election noong 2016, sobrang dikit na tong election na to. If you would tell me. Because back then, nung si Clinton pa yung
Hillary
Hillary,
Clinton.
was running up against Trump. It was a almost lopsided victory, given how sick Americans are with the Democrats, right?
Oh,
And
you're talking about the conservatives? You're talking about yung mga
yeah,
businessman na kailangan nila ng maraming profit as in compared yung mga small business? Tama ba ako? And lalo na yung mga Americans who are racist. Tama ba ako?
it could be. For me, it's not more on their racism. If they are leaning towards the left or the right, they have the same goal, which is to they share a common goal, but they wanted to do it on different ways. In yung interpretation ko on how the U.S. two-party system work. So the right wants to do this, then the left wants to do this. These they are going to the exact same road, but they wanted to do it on their own ways. Apparently, yung ginagawa ng Democrats nung time ni Obama, hindi nagugustuhan ng mga right-leaning or right-wing Republicans, right? So yeah, but they, for me, they're all shit to me. To be honest with you, regardless of who won, it's just that this is going to be a long election.
Tama
Hindi
ka
pa
nga.
tatapos.
Hindi pa tapos.
Dapat
hindi pa na si
there
Trump.
were
Sobra na siya eh.
there were a lot of allegations of an electoral fraud. We cannot really deep dig deep with that because of how sensitive that is. We don't want to misinform the audience or the viewers, right?
Tama ka nga.
Uh, for me, if they are looking for a fair election, then give them one. If they're looking for a recount, give them it. Give them that recount. Hindi ka naman takot na baka matalo ka dahil sa recount. Go with it. Go with it. Just go with that recount kung yun yung pinapaan niya. But apparently, Trump wants to stop the count
Oh,
rather than
narinig
make.
ko yung sa katulong namin. Gustong pinigilin ni Trump yung bilang. Para sa akin, napaka-unfair naman. Kaya ikaw,
The,
napaka-unfair naman rin. I thought America supports honesty, di ba? Si Trump, ewan ko ba kung anong tumama sa isip niya. But be mindful about this, ha? Mr. Donald Trump and Vincent Kennedy McMahon were like good friends in real life. You know that already.
yeah,
Remember how Trump was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? Celebrity inductee yata I think.
yeah.
Remember, nag-hosted yung Trump Casino Plaza ng dalawang WrestleMania. 4 and 5.
Yes, yes. There and the fact that Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon's wife, Linda, is a part of um, the cabinet, may cabinet position ata, if I recall. Um, so yeah, malaking impact nito um, sa WWE because Linda McMahon is an administrator for small business administration. So meron siyang role sa public service, and as as you may have heard then, uh, Democrat candidate, former Democrat aspiring candidate Andrew Yang, if you know him, he is actually targeting WWE for um, yung mga Twitch accounts ng mga wrestlers na were being placed on hold kasi bawal daw according to WWE, something like that. Yung pinapatanggal niya.
Mm,
So that that will there will be an impact that will be felt by WWE
wow.
with this loss of Donald Trump. You could
Ouch.
see it coming then.
Malalaman natin kung ano yung sinasabi mo, malalaman natin sa 2021 onwards. Kung hindi ako
Yeah, I
nakakamali.
agree.
That was some that serious conversation we got there. We went a little bit no holds barred and everything and stuff like that. But sobrang late na tayo ginawa nito. Yeah, this part 2. Ox na ox ako dyan. As in, ox na ox sa kunting sunrocks. Ang bata ka pa, siguro naabot mo na pero hindi mo pa napanood yan. Isang kutsara ng
95 ako.
sunrocks, ganun. And speaking of which, minsan, we had to look at my FB account. Nagpo-post ako ng mga video sa may mga palabas sa WWE 2K19, you know. I have something to show you. Do you know what is this? Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Yes, this show is brought to you by Red Dragon, makers of this, some keyboards and some mouse that will perfectly fit in for your gaming needs. Seriously, Red Dragon, the best. Unang beses ko nang na-promote to, alang ya. Anyway, through Mr. Mark D. Manalo, or should I say John Carlo Dumantay, since naging non-kayfabe na to, maraming salamat sa iyo, sobra, na bumalik na yung show na to for na after several, maybe 5 weeks of hiatus kasi gusto ko na magpahinga sanali and then for you to fit in for episode 16. Like I said before, ox talaga ako dyan. Kaya again, maraming salamat sa iyo. Ang dami mo nang nabulgar. Dahil hindi tayo nagbabasa ng dyaryo na bulgar for quite some time. O matagal na rin. Dahil sa bulgar, maraming mga bold.
Batang tiktik ako eh.
Kaya pre, mag-ingat ka sa sa inyo as much as possible. Make sure hindi ka magiging mga victim ng COVID-19 at kung ano yung mga pinupursue mo ngayon, go for it.
Yes.
You had my
Yeah.
support, you had the Revelation support, and everyone who watched this show as much as possible. So
Thank you.
again, cheers and rock and roll. And kids, before we end of this show, may special presentation tayo. I'm not talking about that one. Kids, seriously.
Ano?
Sige, good fight and good night. Cheers and rock and roll.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.